The letter T isn't what it seems. Hiding behind its innocent appearance are dangerous alternative pronunciations.
I think it's rather like tea. There are lots of marvellous varieties, and some will keep you awake at night.
Yes, quite. In this video we are going to learn about 10 of these variations, but be warned, T may never sound the same again.
Ooh, how exciting.
1. S. When t appears sandwiched between two vowels and the second vowel is weak, it's pretty common for it to turn into s. Certain, better, weighted. In front of strong vowels, a little s can appear directly after the t as it's released. Ts, a process known as affrication, so time, talk, internal. 3. It's very common to hear an American-influenced voiced alveolar tap, when t is before a weak vowel these days in England. Sitting, British, but it's often actually more than just a tap. It's a fully fledged voiced alveolar plosive, d. Sitting, British, but it's. I'm not kidding. 5. If you thought this fella was Batman, think again. He's Batman. That's right, when t is followed by bilabial sounds, p, b, or m, it can change into an unreleased p. Hotmail, potbelly, hatpin. Take that, Batman. Pow. 6. K. In the same way that t turns into p, it also turns into an unreleased k when it's followed by a velar sound, k or g. Backgown, sitcom, hot cake. Thanks. 7. Ch. In the cluster, tr, the t can transform into ch. Train, try, portrait. This also occurs in some words spelt tu, which posher speakers might pronounce tye. Tuna, tulip, fortune. 8. T. Aspiration is a puff of air which is released as a sound is made. In English, this is very noticeable on bilabial voiceless plosive p. You can see the candle move. T can also have this aspiration before stressed vowel sounds. Tick, town, attain. But affrication, that little s we saw earlier, is probably more common. Tick, town, attain. However, neither affrication nor aspiration will occur after s, so stay, storm, and Frankenstein are unaspirated and unaffricated. 9. Glottal stop. Seemingly every British English teacher's favourite sound, the glottal stop occurs when air is stopped completely in the throat or glottis. And it often shows up where T's are written. Sometimes it replaces T completely. Written. Other times it appears with an unreleased plosive for t to reinforce the stop. Batman. 8th. But the thing about the glottal stop is that its use changes dramatically across different accents. So in working class accents, this is more likely to be meter. And in posher accents, meter, with some sort of alveolar t. But nearly everyone says football with a glottal stop, because it has another stop consonant after the T. 10. Unreleased. An unreleased t is where you don't let any air out at the end, so compare. Boat, boat. Rocket, rocket. The phonetic symbol looks like this. Essentially, an unreleased t can mimic the next sound in a process called assimilation. So if the next sound is bilabial, the t becomes an unreleased p. That mouse. If the next sound is dental, the t becomes an unreleased dental t. That thing. And if the next sound is velar, the t becomes an unreleased k. That cat. And everyone's favourite sound, the glottal stop, is likely to reinforce the unreleased sound by occurring just before the closure. See if you can spot it. That mouse. That thing. That cat. 11. Silent T. With so many different pronunciations flying around, it's easy to forget that sometimes we simply don't say the T. Gourmet, castle, listen. And it's optional in often. Yeah, people often drop the T there. More often than not, I'd say.
So there you have it. One sound with 10 personalities. I must admit some of them are very challenging to my 1960s BBC presenter's persona.
Oh, I very much like them. They rather remind me of my great-grandchildren.
Pronunciation Studio.